Everybody, Steven here, Gear Stuff and Things. Hope you are all doing well. Coming to you today for a very specific thing, and that is to openly apologize for my lack of content here. And I'm going to explain why there's a lack of content at the end. But I did want to just communicate with all of you here in the community to express my gratitude as well as apologize for the lack here on my part. And why am I apologizing? Well, I noticed that in the past a little over a year, my numbers have nearly doubled as far as subscriber count. And my content output is significantly less than what it was during the pandemic, mostly because I didn't have a job during the pandemic because I was laid off. I had a lot more free time and I could be a lot more proactive. That has changed. Again, we'll get into that at the end of the video, but it occurred to me that if there are 2,000 of you subscribed to me, that means that at least a portion of those people who are subscribed are curious about the content I'm creating and what I have to say. And I'm not even that interested in what I have to say half the time, so that kind of jades me a bit in how I perceive it. But I do realize that there is a community here and that the effort and time I put into previous videos has been helpful for some of you, and it's also allowed us to build a small community here, whether it's just through the baritone obsessed people or through YouTube outright, and just make a lot of connections with our music and interests and just general friendship that I would not have had without YouTube. To put that in perspective, not just those of you who are subscribed, but my pal Nick Hill, I met through YouTube, through Bun, during the pandemic. And Nick and I became fast friends. He's now probably my best friend in the world, other than my wife. Don't tell her. But I would not have met him without YouTube. And to know that this person is a regular in my life, he's in my band. We work on creative projects together. We spend a lot of time together, traveling and doing other things, making videos, all this stuff, just hanging out. And it's a thing that never would have happened or existed in my life had this not existed. And that put some things into perspective for me. So not just the growth in subscriber count in my absence, but also the good things that YouTube and this community have brought into my life. And I feel like I might have been underestimating it a bit, or at the very least, taking it for granted, as well as taking all of you and your time and eyes and ears for granted. So what I want to do is to try to make a more concerted effort to produce more content on here again. That may mean that I batch some things in order to keep the ball rolling, because I really just don't have the time I used to have. And if that's okay with you, I would like to try to at least get one or two things out a month. If I can do more than that, I will. If there are specific things you'd like to hear about, I'd like to make sure I prioritize that as well. I know I've made a similar video in the past, or a few, just kind of asking for your ideas or your input. And with me having been out of the game, admittedly, for quite a while, I would really like to know what you would like to see here on this channel, to those of you who subscribe. So in effort to do that, like I said, I may be batching things. I'm also going to focus a lot of the material and the content here around my own musical projects, which is my band Modern Witchcraft, which my buddy Nick Hill, who I met via all of you and your suggestions here on YouTube, we are in a band together. So I'm going to start using that material as a platform to share ideas and tones and things of that with you, as well as just production tips, all that sort of stuff, and just in my general content that I usually create. But if there are things you'd like to see or you'd like to hear, again, please let me know so that I can do a much better job at getting to those things. To get to the part where I explain why I've been absent, I know I've kind of explained it in previous videos, but to those of you who maybe don't know, during the pandemic, I started this whole channel. I had 2 years of basically nothing to do, so I could create content regularly, and that's pretty much all I did. Is I wrote a record during the pandemic, recorded a record, and I filmed videos on almost a daily or weekly basis, sometimes 2 or 3 in a day. and was just able to do a lot more. I was also running a podcast with my wife full time during that. So a lot of things going on. Eventually, towards the tail end of the pandemic, I got in a pinch. I re-enrolled for college, and that sucked some of my time out, which started to diminish my ability to do that over other things. I eventually got a full-time job, so I'm back in that world, on top of being a traveling guitar tech for my wife's band, Kitty, and having my own band that I was obviously recording a record with during the pandemic, but we started playing shows again, got a different lineup, we've been rehearsing, it's just a whole thing. So a lot of that stuff came up. And the other thing that really is the most important that I've been focusing on is trying to make sure I spend as much time as I can, because I'm so busy now, with my wife and with my daughter when I have free time. And outside of that, spending time with my buddies, people like Nick and my bandmates, just to try to have a life to some degree. And in the process of doing so, I kind of neglected this whole thing in this community, but admittedly, I also neglected all of you and your time and dedication to me. So I owe you, and I want to get back into it. So that's it. That's my spiel for today. Thanks for sitting through it. And I really look forward to getting back into this with all of you. And yeah, let's do the thing again. Let's have our little community. Let's hang out. Let's do a thing. Also, Nick Hill and I are going to start doing those shooting the shit live streams again. And there's going to be a lot of live content associated with the band. And I may even do some videos on just what it's like doing guitar tech stuff for the girls and Kitty. Any of those things, if you're interested, just let me know. I'm here for it, here for you. Again, thank you so much. Nothing but gratitude and respect. And again, my apologies for being away. And I'm hoping to earn some of your respect and eyeballs and ears back. And yep, that's it. I got nothing else. I could ramble about this all day, but I'm going to try to get back into it. Thank you.